If you've been following this series of videos, you may have picked up on a couple of my girlfriend's habits when gaming, like how she's got a fondness for swing weapons that weigh more than she does, and chances are she's gonna make better friends with the animal NPCs than the human ones. You probably also recognize how anytime a game asks you to platform, I bring up how much she hates jumping. So since she sucks at platforming, let's make her play a platformer. That way we can laugh and maybe she'll get better. And I have just the game in mind. This time I really did make my girlfriend play Celeste.
Oh my god, okay. Oh. Can I?
At face value, making her play Celeste seems like a really mean thing to do. But hear me out. It's actually a very good environment for someone who understands how to platform but wants to make the effort to get better. For one thing, there's no health bar or lives to worry about. You get hit once and you're starting the room over again. While that seems unforgiving, it also relieves a lot of pressure. The last time we really stress tested her platforming was way back when she played Hollow Knight. When you're making a corpse run and all your hard-earned cash is on the line, it makes each jump that much more nerve-wracking. In Celeste, she was free to die as many times as it took her to get to the other side. Just no one tell her about the golden strawberries.
What the fuck?
Because she could put aside her fear of death, it really opened up the floodgates for experimenting and taking risks. Celeste has a lot of fun concepts that get brought together in more and more creative ways as you go through its chapters. It does a good job introducing things to you at a steady pace in order to build your confidence before they ask you to really put your skills to the test. For my girlfriend, when something has too many moving parts, she usually struggles to keep track of all of them and chooses to just ignore chunk entirely. Celeste didn't let her off the hook that easily though, as there are plenty of sequences that combine everything you've learned thus far and expect you to use it all to complete the challenge.
Oh my god, this is like rubbing my head and patting my belly. Wait, shit, I said that wrong.
When she first sat down to play, I almost immediately hopped in the car and headed straight to the gym. I wanted to get as far outside the blast radius as I could before she realized what I'd set her up with.
Oh, it's so cute! Wait. Ah! This game is jumping? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. What have you done?
I'll be honest when I say I was fully expecting my girlfriend to give up after the first hour.
Oh my god, that was mean.
So I decided I'd work out until I got a text from her. In hindsight, I probably underestimated her stubbornness.
Her saying that I can't do this makes me want to do it more.
Needless to say, I was there almost 2.5 hours before I decided the text wasn't coming and I should head home. After getting home, things weren't what I expected. Aside from no longer calling the main character Celeste, I was impressed with how confidently she handled the game's mechanics. She was stuck on a room, but already through the first chapter. And on top of all that, she was going for the strawberries.
Wait, no, that's not where I want to go because I want the straw. Yes. Ah! Ah! No! Ah! No! No! Shit!
So I guess things were going smoother than you would have thought. At least until I saw her death tally at the end of the level.
Yo! Wait, what? I got only 11 strawberries? I thought I got them all.
In Celeste, you'll find yourself having those aha moments of realizing what you need to do.
I think I'm figuring out what I need to do, though. It wasn't that.
But a lot of the time, knowing is only half the battle. There's a pretty wide gap between knowing what to do and having the skills to actually do it. That's part of why it feels satisfying when you actually finish a room. As infuriating as some sections can be, it's equally addicting to chase after that satisfaction. My girlfriend has always accused me of being a masochist for playing games like this, but as it turns out, she's just as much a glutton for punishment as the rest of us.
Why am I even trying to get this strawberry?
One of the greater breakthroughs she had with the game was learning to appreciate the rooms more as puzzles that needed solving rather than just an obstacle course. She exceeds when she gets time to solve things and essentially look before she leaps. Then it comes down to practicing the execution of her ideas. Every level starts with her asking herself, how the hell am I ever going to get through this? And the only way to find out is to try. It starts out feeling impossible to beat, but eventually you just do. The number of deaths weren't a measure of how much she failed, but how many times she was willing to try again. When an element of urgency is added to making it through the course, she struggled quite a bit. Sections like being chased by the Battle Line clones or Mr. Oshiro, for example. It demands the player to trust their gut, race through the level without the luxury of pausing between obstacles to stop and think. She didn't have that trust in herself, and so those segments were by far the most intimidating for her. Consequently, they were also some of the funniest to watch.
If I go into the spikes, she goes into the spikes. Shit. Wait, why would that even matter?
In the past couple weeks, our house has been filled with intermittent silence broken by her lashing out at the game every time she dies. Similar to telling how far away lightning is, you can figure out how long she's been in a room by measuring the time between her expletive. It's safe to say, when she's only just entered a new room, the storm is practically on top of us.
Oh, thank God. The strawberry feels safe.
For whatever reason, my girlfriend had an extremely difficult time falling in a straight line. I know it sounds crazy, but I can't tell you how many times it would happen. She'd execute some elaborate course of dodging through spikes with a strawberry in hand. All that was left to do was to fall straight down to safety. But for whatever reason, she'd go veering off to the left or right. I thought maybe it'd be easier if she switched using the D-pad instead of the analog stick. But then she went and chipped a nail and I got in even more trouble.
Oh my God. My thumbs hurt.
Her main driving force and motivator throughout the levels of Celeste was discovering all its hidden treasures and secrets. I've played the game before, but it's been long enough I'd forgotten a ton of what there is to find. I was totally impressed by all the little details she'd uncovered. I guess a major benefit of not racing through a game as fast as possible is that it allows you to savor things a little more. Each time she'd stumble backwards into a shortcut or fake wall, it'd be that little hit of dopamine she needed in order to press on.
Oh my God, there's a secret!
Her absolute favorite find was her so-called jumping game inside of the jumping game.
Oh my God, a computer. What is this? Oh my God, a jumping game within a jumping game.
I wouldn't have expected her to willingly submit herself to even more jumping, but she played through the section straight through lunch and didn't quit until she made it to the top. I guess she was so excited she'd found something secret that she committed herself to getting to the end in order to see what would happen.
13 strawberries!
My girlfriend has always sort of brushed aside collectibles in games. For the most part, a game is challenging enough for her without the added difficulty of finding all its coins or treasures. So with that being said, I had very low expectations for her in the collecting of Celeste's strawberries.
A strawberry! Just gonna jump here till I figure out what to do.
I should know my girlfriend better though. They happen to be her favorite fruit. I'd go all in on a bet that she wouldn't have given them the time of day if they hadn't been strawberries.
Oh, I already got the strawberry. Shit, why was I going that way?
One of the types of strawberries has wings and will fly away if you use your dash ability.
And it's flying.
It was a tough pill to swallow having to unlearn her reliance on pressing dash on impulse when things would go wrong. I think when messing up a jump, her instinctual presses of the dash button were more harmful than helpful, so it was good that the game helped her learn this lesson. Plenty of times, she tried to use her dash to get to the strawberry before it had the chance to fly away. Some puzzles actually require you to use the dash to get to it in time.
Oh, you were so close.
Shit.
But never in the brute force types of ways she would try. Her death tally definitely paid the price for it. The most painful thing in the world for her was leaving behind a berry. While on the hunt for secrets, she'd sometimes accidentally cross a point of no return for the level and leave a lot of goodies behind.
Shit. I wanted to see what's to the right.
A fate worse than death, this warranted a much louder reaction than simply dying, because now, if she wanted to try for that berry, she'd have to go back through the entire level again from the start.
Are you fucking kidding me? I found one of 6.
Unfortunately for those strawbs, my girlfriend had her heart set on reaching the summit, and so alas, those berries were lost to the mountain.
Oh no! I just wanted to see what was up here.
Despite being a brutally difficult game, for the most part, she really enjoyed it. I think the art style and soundtrack were right up her alley and gave off a cute enough vibe that she could look past the frustrating parts and appreciate the journey.
Can we just take this up to the top?
Every time she made it to the end of a level, it always felt like some big event that the whole house came out to watch, cat and all.
Woo!
The real question is, was she a better platformer by the end of it?
Climb, climb, climb. I miss when there was only one dash. What the fuck, Battleline? Why'd you put me up there? No! Oh, god damn it. Fuck me. Whee! Oh! God damn it. Ah! Haha!
Once she reached the top, I wouldn't say she was a platforming master by any means, but she definitely had improved a ton. When she started her climb, every little hop was its own battle. In the earlier levels, I could tell she was tense and nervous, but as she got further into the game, I noticed her start to mellow out and her gameplay improved as a side effect. I wouldn't call her an expert, but she left the mountain with a newfound confidence in her ability to jump. I'm sure she'll impress us all in whatever platformer she plays next. Let's just hope there's no fall damage.